The announcement came on Monday this week. Lead shot for game, plastic cartridge wads and plastic cartridge shells will be voluntarily banned in the UK by 2025, say 9 shooting and land-owning organisations. They got the newspaper headlines they wanted. They are not getting the social media they want. The organisations are hurting.
It's left me in a quandary. Why hasn't everybody been privy to all the goings on behind the doors, you know? Why hasn't everybody been consulted? And that's the biggest problem that I've got, because it's down to 2 or 3 organisations and a cartridge company that suddenly decided that we know better. And we are prepared and bugger anybody else.
High bird shooters like Dave are one group of people criticising the decision. His cartridge costs are going to go up tenfold unless the cartridge companies can work out how to deliver steel shot effectively in non-plastic cups. Another group are the owners of nice old English guns. But BASC Northern Director Duncan Thomas points out you get the organisations you vote for.
We absolutely understand and respect the comments that have been made regarding the lack of consultation, for example, and we get that. What we have to remember is that BASC is an association. It's only good as the people that support it, contribute and make the whole organisation work. It's a massive team effort. We have an elected council who set the strategic objectives. The chief exec and the team then disseminate that down, and the regional teams then deliver what we need to do. So let's make it absolutely clear. The people that you elected made these decisions and we 100% support them. There's always a need for feedback to be fed in, but it's got to be done properly, and ranting on social media is not doing anybody any good.
Should the organisations lead on lead? Should they simply be representative? Should they have consulted more? The good news for the organisations is that shooters accept lead is poisonous and has to go.
Well, we know that lead is toxic. It's toxic to humans and to wildlife. And we know that wild birds do suffer from lead poisoning. Individual birds are found which have been exposed to lead. They may use as grit in their gizzard, or they may mistake it for food, depending on the species. The manner of their feeding makes them more likely to pick up lead shot. So many of them maybe are sifting in the silt at the bottom of wetlands, and so they'll pick up lead shot down there, and they're looking specifically for grit for the gizzard as well. So they maybe sometimes might mistake it for food, or often it will be for grit. There are specific papers looking at kites, grey partridges, buzzards, I believe, in Europe. The Californian condor is a very famous example, of course. So there's a wide variety of species that we know have suffered from lead poisoning. Grey partridges have been looked at in quite some detail, and again they will sometimes mistake it for seed when they're foraging.
Even Dave can see some light at the end of this tunnel.
It won't bother me, because the cartridge companies will step up to the plate. They'll find something quite adequate to keep on shooting ethically these, the high pheasant or the high partridge. But what's worrying is, why didn't we wait while the actual government banned it, instead of ourselves, instead of the shooting fraternity going into retreat all the time? We seem to be chipping away at our bloody communities and our way of life, which, we seem to be knocking it to pieces all the time.
Here's an example of new cartridge tech, a biodegradable wad disappearing in a glass of water over 12 hours. Thanks to the Game and Wildlife Conservation Trust for doing that. While we watch it, here's Dave with his final thoughts.
Well, I know full well that the cartridge companies will step up to the plate and will find something suitable so that we can carry on what we like doing, and the people that like shooting low birds or average birds, they can carry on what they want to do. There's all facets of this shooting world that should be taken into consideration. We shouldn't lose anything. The ratter, the goose man, the pigeon man, they should be able to carry on just as normal. And let's hope that in future our governing bodies, our organisations, take a bit more time and appreciate there's more than just these or them that's created this quandary are involved in shooting and deserve a chance to have their say.
And here's scientist Jen to remind us, well, to paraphrase Bruce Willis in Pulp Fiction, lead's dead, baby, lead's dead.
Lead has fairly recently been classified as a metal for which there's no lower threshold for negative effects. So for some substances, if you can have a little bit of it fairly safely and it won't cause you any problems, but for lead, if you have any exposure, it's known that there will be some effects. It'll be milder if your exposure is lower, but it will cause some problems even at low levels.
Stay up to date with the debate at fchannel/leadban.